Begin practice today in a Sukhasana, an easy pose. Or as the picture shows, you can sit in a hero's pose on a block, finding comfort and support. Whatever shape your body needs today, assume that shape and find comfort. Your hands can be on your lap, palms facing down to ground you, or palms facing up to receive. You can join thumb and index finger together, forming the Gyan Mudra, which helps you ground as well. Find comfort in your shape. Allow your body to settle. Shoulders move away from ears, crown reaches skyward, and notice the natural curve of your own spine. Begin to visualize yourself gratefully accepting your life as it is right now, knowing that you possess the power to change any aspect of yourself. Surrounded by the support of family and friends, each day realizing that you are capable and respectful and can move mountains or sit quietly and observe and ponder. Life is a process. If you choose positivity over negativity, each time you are in a situation and have to decide, the choice becomes more easily obvious. No what ifs. Instead, decisiveness and clarity. Sit with a breath in your place of stillness, your safe and sacred space, and congratulate yourself for being present, for being ready to find acceptance. Invite gratitude into your practice today as you move and stir and transform and become all that you are meant to be. Let each inhale nourish you and fill you up. And as you exhale, release and let go a little bit more. Allow Mother Earth to receive you. Choose an intention of gratitude for your practice today, reminding yourself just how special you really are. Invite your practice to invigorate you. Invite your practice to connect you to the present moment, to breathe life into all the spaces of your body, to find the gratitude and acceptance that each day fills you up. Life is a journey, and during these hectic times, if you could find any way to release and let go, it's a beautiful thing, a beautiful experience. Moving the body, settling and quieting the mind. Inhaling and exhaling. Allowing yourself to receive. Giving yourself permission to receive. Slowly begin to release. Let the shoulders move in one direction, inviting some circulation in the body, and allow the shoulders to move in the opposite direction. Inhale the arms overhead and release and horizontally stretch from the right to the left, keeping your sits bones connected to the earth. Gently awakening the body as you move horizontally from right to left. Finding stillness and letting the legs release from your seated position, shaking them out, removing any props that you may have sat on. And then crossing your legs so that you're sitting in a little knot, a pretzel, right leg over your left, hugging your right leg in, and moving the right arm behind you, inhaling and lengthening your crown. And as you exhale, twist and gaze over your right shoulder, finding that gentle movement as you slowly awaken the body. Inhaling and exhaling. Release the legs, let them shake out a bit, and then move your right leg behind you. Your left leg crosses over, and find that length as you hug the leg with your right arm and let your left arm release behind you. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, twist and gaze over your left shoulder. Inhaling and exhaling, finding length, finding a quiet stretch. Returning to center and coming into a table position. Wrists under shoulders, toes tucked or feet flat, and beginning to move the spine, quieting the mind, and moving the vertebrae, inhaling and exhaling, lifting chin and tailbone, and then exhaling, rounding and tucking navel towards the spine. Let your right leg release long behind you and your left arm in front of you, finding a gentle balance. Gazing down at your mat for balance, and then moving your left arm and your right knee together. Finding balance, finding the strength that your body possesses. Release your left arm and your right knee to the mat and move the spine, inhaling and exhaling, a gentle undulation of the vertebrae. Let your left leg release long behind you, your right arm in front. Reach with toes and fingertips as you gaze down at your mat, your drishti point. And then move your left knee towards your right elbow. Finding balance, pressing into the earth with your left palm. Tucking navel towards spine on your exhale. Release your left knee and your right arm to the earth. Move your palm prints up one hand length and come into a downward facing dog. Walking your dog, releasing any tension in your hamstrings. Inhaling, lifting your right leg into a three-leg dog, strengthening the arms and the hip flexors and helping with your balance, quieting the mind. And doing the same thing with the left leg lifted. Release. And have your feet walk right up towards the front of the mat. Hang in a forward fold or a rag doll. Bending the knees, releasing any tension from the hamstrings. And then come up with hands in front of the heart center, Anjali Mudra. a gentle back bend. And then hands move in front of your heart center, bowing, humbling yourself. Feeling the strength of your mountain pose. Releasing your hands to the tops of blocks. Bending your knee as your left leg lifts behind you into a Tuladasana, another balance pose. The support of the blocks helps with this balance pose. Gazing down at your mat, and then bending legs and releasing from the blocks, turning your back leg and preparing for Trikonasana, the triangle pose, extending arms across the heart center and reaching down to the mat. As you watch in the picture, you can support your right arm on a block to help with the posture. Inhale, gaze up towards the sky and breathe. Gentle breath, inhale and exhale. And feel the strength in your triangle pose. Come up to a erect position and move back into a downward facing dog. Walking your dog if there's any tightness in your hamstrings. And then inhale and lift your right leg into a three-legged dog, strengthening the arms and helping develop your balance. Your left leg lifts on the inhale. Your hip flexors are stretched and warmed. And then allow your feet to move up towards the front of the mat. Bend your knees. Hang in a ragdoll. Release any tension from your hamstrings. And then come up, Anjali Mudra hands, gentle back bend. And release your hands in front of your heart center. Bowing with gratitude. Find your blocks if they're on the other end of the mat and place them in front of you. Hands planted on your blocks, firmly planted. Bend your knees and prepare for Tulandasana on the opposite side. Lift your right leg and extend it long behind you. Gaze down at your mat for balance. The sole of your standing leg is planted into the earth. And breathe. Notice. Feel. Let your right leg release, preparing for Trikonasana, the triangle pose. Arms reach out and come down to the mat, or remember the picture from the earlier pose on the opposite side. You can use your block, or you can move your hand to your thigh. Gaze up towards the heaven. Round your shoulders back as you open your chest. And then move your left leg back and return to Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog. Roll the chest forward into plank. Feel the energy radiate through the soles of your feet. And begin to twist, rotate your plank. Your fingertips are reaching skyward. Come down to the mat. Move into a plank, a full plank position again. And then begin to rotate in the opposite direction. Right arm reaches skyward. And as you can see from the picture, you can modify your plank by releasing your left knee to the mat. Return to plank, chaturanga down to the earth. Move any props from in front of you. Arms release alongside the body, palms facing up. Just take a gentle inhale and exhale. Inhale again and exhale. And press your pubic bone and your belly into the earth. On your next inhale, lift your chin, your legs, your feet, your arms, and let your toes and fingertips reach towards the back of the room. as you float and move into Anavasana, a boat pose. Release to the earth and move your hips, your buttocks towards the soles of your feet, and rest in a tight child pose. Forehead can be on stacked fists, or your arms can reach along the sides of you towards the soles of your feet. Allow your body to rest. Allow your breath to be even. A gentle inhale and exhale. Slowly releasing. Coming up to a table position, tucking the toes, walking the hands up one palm length, and returning to downward facing dog. Walking the dog if your hamstrings are still tight. And then fingertips move back towards the soles of your feet, bending the knees if you need to release the tightness in your hamstrings, finding a gentle half lift, and then powering up. Hands in front of heart center, a gentle back bend, and then returning to Anjali Mudra. Noticing how you feel in your mountain pose, reacquainting yourself to the present moment, finding the breath, and then beginning to step the right foot forward as you prepare for Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. Lift the toes on the back leg, arms alongside your ears, feeling the weight move into the forward knee, knee in line with ankle, hips square to the front of the room, arms release in front of the heart center, observing, being a witness to each movement that your body assumes. Moving your right leg back, returning to your downward facing dog. Inhaling and lifting into three-leg dog. Release, walking the dog, and inhaling, lifting your left leg, stretching the hip flexors and finding balance. Toes move up towards the front of the mat. Knees bend if there's any tightness. Half lift as your fingertips walk up towards your thighs, and power up, arms circling the sun, a gentle back bend. Anjali Mudra, hands in front of the heart center. Finding your stability, finding your strength. Noticing and feeling. Inhale your arms overhead as you step your right leg back and find your Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. Feel the weight move into your left leg, the knee in line with your ankle, hips square towards the front of the room. Hands release in front of the heart center into prayer. Inhale your arms alongside your ears and perhaps sink a little bit deeper into the pose. And then move your hands in front of your heart center. Feel the power in your warrior. Feel the power within yourself. Release your hands, move your left leg back and return to your downward facing dog. Roll the spine forward and find yourself in plank. And then move back towards downward facing dog. Toes walk to the front of the mat. Half lift, gaze over the front of your mat. And then release and power up and circle the sun. Find a gentle back bend. Hands release towards the heart center. Notice and observe. And begin to swan dive down. Step your right leg back and your left leg, downward facing dog. Roll the chest forward. Energy radiates through the soles of your feet for a full plank. Chaturanga down. Flatten the tops of your feet and move your hands down towards your waist. Squeeze the elbows together. Inhale and lift into Cobra. Gaze over the front of your mat. Feel the shoulder blades squeeze together as you breathe. Move the buttocks towards the soles of your feet and rest in a wide-legged child pose. Big toes touching, arms reaching long in front of you. Each time you inhale, feel the spine release. And each time you exhale, feel the buttocks move a little bit closer towards the soles of your feet. Walk up and release, and come around and extend the legs long in front of you and slowly begin to lower yourself to the earth. Hug the knees in, rock, massage the spine, rock from right to left. Hold on to the outer edges of your feet. Open the hips as you move into a happy baby pose. Stretching, releasing, bringing the soles of your feet down towards your shoulders. Release your feet to the earth and prepare for your inversion. Ardha Sarvangasana. Let your hips rock back. Receive your hips with the palms of your hand. Bend your knees and gaze up, and you should see the tips of your toes. Allow the lymph to drain through the body. Stimulate the lymph in your body. You can open to a V. You can move your legs back and forth towards the top of the mat. No weight is felt in the neck. Instead, support your weight on your shoulders or your arms. Breathe several breaths, keeping your gaze steady. And when you're ready to release, bend your knees. Release your palms to the earth. Hug your knees in. Rock from right to left, massaging the spine. If your neck has any tension, you can interlace your fingertips behind the base of your head and turn your neck from right to left. Release any tension in your neck. Hug your knees in again. Massage your spine. And then let your knees move towards the right. You can place a blanket between your knees or under your elbow. Your gaze can be in the opposite direction if the neck is okay today, or your gaze can be skyward. Arms extended along the heart center. Inhaling and exhaling. If you have the availability of a sandbag, you can place it on the top of your thigh. The little extra weight that you place there helps ground you, helps calm you. Find breath. Release, hug the knees in, let the sandbag roll to the opposite side, and prepare for a twist on the opposite side. Let your knees release to the left. Reposition the sandbag if you're using one. Extend your arms across your heart center, palms facing up or down, and gaze in the opposite direction of your knees or gaze skyward. Each side is different. Notice and be aware of how the body feels. And then reconnect with your breath. Inhale and exhale. Slowly release. Let the sandbag fall to the side and let your body position itself into your final resting pose, your Shavasana. You can place a blanket or a sandbag on your abdomen for extra weight to help ground you. If you have these props available, it's a nice way to rest in Shavasana. And begin to allow yourself to settle and release. The back body melts to the earth, while the front body shines skyward, receiving all the gifts of the universe. Begin to quiet the mind. Find stillness. And become one with all that is. Begin to find a deeper breath in the chest. Find gentle movement in the fingers and toes as you slowly and quietly awaken the body. Eventually roll to one side in a fetal position, remembering your intention, thanking yourself for honoring and listening to the body. Press the earth away and return to a seat that is comfortable for you. Move your hands in front of your heart center. May you be guided by your heart. May you be lifted by your spirit. And may you be warmed by your soul. Namaste.